What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Forecast. We're going to be getting into some cold weather and just winter safety tips in general, and also a look at the night sky and some NASA images with Jeff. Jeff, thanks for joining me today. You're also showing us your telescope?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the telescope.
One of your telescopes.
Yeah, one of the telescopes. Look at this thing.
It's like me with surfboards. Oh, yeah, I'll bring in one of my surfboards.
Yeah.
Jeff has multiple telescopes.
Yeah, this is my my smart telescope, Dwarf Lab. You can see the front there if you're wondering what brand this is.
And cool thing about that one is you can control it on your phone.
Yes, this is controlled phone or tablet, iPad, whatever you got.
Via an app, I guess, that that is registered with the telescope.
Yeah, it's just sync to it. Bam, it connects to it instantly, and you control what you want to target. And once it says, okay, let's say I want to track the Andromeda Galaxy. It will say, okay, and it'll look around the sky. Oh, there it is, and it'll lock in, and it's done. And it'll do its thing.
You just let it sit for a little bit while it gathers
the light. Yes.
Gathers the light.
Yeah, we're gathering light. So that will be something that will be overnight, or it could be several nights if you want to do composite. Really gather a lot of light into the telescope bucket. But that we'll spend some more time on that. We have some images that we'll look at the image of the week. We haven't done that in a couple of weeks. I feel kind of bad. We've been kind of all over the place with our schedules here with the holidays. So we'll look at that. But cold temperatures.
I want to start with this because it's always important in the winter season to just remember that it can get cold here in Hampton Roads. It doesn't happen, nearly to the extent that the Northeast or the Midwest or out west into the Rockies, or Canada, for instance, or the Arctic
Northern
Circle.
Minnesota, or Arctic Circle, or Antarctica. Yeah.
It is possible that we can get cold here. It's just not nearly as much. So I wanted to go through and kind of have some fun here, some free time. And I was like, what's the top 5 coldest temperature readings that Norfolk has ever received? And I actually had to make an adjustment to this graphic because I put KORF. This is all from the airport station, but a lot of these readings are before flight. So you can't really say it's at the airport because it's before flight.
And the location was not there.
Not the exact same.
It was downtown Norfolk.
Yes.
So it was at another location downtown Norfolk. It moved at some point, and then the airport became the official reporting site.
Yeah.
But it was really downtown Norfolk. So in 1885 and 1899, 86, and 99, it was that cold downtown Norfolk on those February days. Interesting that it's only in February for those coldest days, except for the January 21st
and January is, on average, our coldest month. Mm-hmm. But we've had our record cold lows in February. Very interesting how that works out sometimes. But January,
sometimes it happens after a big snow event, too.
Yes, after a big snow event where you don't, you have all that cold. You're not, that snow and that ice still lingering around just makes the temperatures drop even more.
Right.
I remember when I was in Savannah for this past winter, we had 1.1 inches of snow and ice. I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
Down there,
that's a big deal.
It shut down the entire city for 3 days.
Wow.
It was cold after the fact too, but it was extra cold because of the fact that there was snow on the ground. So we had record lows for parts of our area 3 days in a row.
Was that the same event as the Louisiana snow event?
Same
event. So that was the one that kind of missed us.
Yeah, even for us, if the storm moved a little bit further south, we would have locked into like 3 to 5 inches of snow, but we were kind of right on that rain-snow line.
Yeah.
The storm moved more north, so we got a lot of sleet. So we only came up to just over an inch of snow and sleet. But Louisiana, like near New Orleans, got like 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was unreal. There was snow falling on the beaches of Panama City, Florida, and the crystal clear blue water right next to it, turquoise blue water that they've got. It was just a weird sight. But anyways, the coldest temperatures Norfolk has ever experienced. -3. That's as low as we've gotten. And I remember Don telling me, because he remembers that.
Yep.
I remember Don telling me that all there was a major problem with all the pipes bursting and all that craziness. So it's no better time than now to start kind of going through maybe your winter weather readiness skills. Mm-hmm. One of the big things is winterizing your car. fill in the gas tank. Don't be like me and wait until your reader says 5 miles.
Oh, wow.
I've done that before.
Especially in the wintertime, you can get that condensation that form inside the tank, and you don't want water in the tank. You want
definitely don't want
gasoline
that.
in the tank.
Yes. Check
Yeah.
the fluids, coolant, wiper fluid. Check oil levels. This is just standard car stuff in general that you should always kind of be looking at, but especially in the winter, because if you don't want to break down and it's freezing cold outside, or even worse, you break down in the middle of a big snowstorm and you're really in trouble. Check lights, hazards, especially low visibility
Yep.
instances, and check the tire pressure and the tread of your tires. That should be like the first thing on the list, really, because the tires are so subject to change during the winter season,
Yes, they
especially
are.
here.
Yeah, check the pressure. Those the first time you roll out the door is the time to go fill up the tire, because the tire is a little bit colder at that point. You want to fill it when it's cold, not when the tire is warmer, because as it warms up, the pressure increases. As it cools down, the pressure decreases.
Yes.
So it's just kind of a natural thing. So, and if you're wondering what pressure to put it to, then
Your vehicle should say
door.
the
The door
door,
jamb.
the door jamb, or
Yep.
sometimes on the tire itself.
No, that can be the max pressure. You want to be careful about that.
What the max pressure? Well, yeah,
That's the
I'm
max
saying
pressure for the
if you-
tire.
If you need if you want a gauge as to what you can fill it up to.
Yeah, it's best to fill it up to what's on the door of the car. That's manufacturer recommended for the vehicle,
Right.
compared to the tire itself.
Right.
That's max fill for the tire. You want to fill it for the car.
Good advice there.
So good advice. Yeah,
advice
I want to make
there.
sure I got you on that one. So yeah.
I always just go to the
tire.
tire place.
Oh, the tire place. That's the
Yes.
best place to go. If you just really don't know, you don't know what number to read, just go to the tire place,
Yeah.
tire shop.
I usually just go to the tire shop and they'll do it, and then if I need that free Wawa air, I'll do a quick fill.
Yeah, I can't give recommendations to places on here because on the stream, but
true.
there's some great shops around
That's
that
the
will take care of you.
Sorry, that was the Jersey and me talking.
Oh, no, Wawa's fine. No, I was just saying your favorite tire shop, because
Oh yeah. No,
favorite tire
totally.
shop, yeah.
Winter weather emergency kit. I think for the most part, not a lot of people have just random objects floating in the back of their car at all times. But it's something to note. First aid kit. I think most people probably have a first aid kit somewhere in their car. Do you?
don't.
You don't? I do.
Smart.
I never. I think up until my car right now, I never did.
Yeah, I probably should. I probably
good
should just get
idea.
some basic stuff. I mean, if you get banged up or something, you're calling an ambulance at that point.
The ice scraper and the shovel, though.
That's seasonal for me.
The ice scraper, I throw it in there every late fall, and
Yep.
then through the winter I have it. A blanket, extra blanket, you can never go wrong there. A charger. I mean, everybody's got their phone charger in their cars now. I think that's not really a big
Yeah.
deal.
One thing I would add to the emergency kit, and I always drive around with one, is air pump, air compressor.
Oh yeah, the portable ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you have a slow leak or a medium leak, you can pull over on the city road. Hopefully not the freeway. You don't want to be on the freeway. It's not fun there.
No.
But on the city road, add a little air. Okay, let's go. Oh, I just have to go 3 miles to get to the nearest tire shop so I can plug this up and fix me up. Hey, it's much better than having to call a tow.
Oh yeah, because tows are. Oh my God, it's so expensive.
It's expensive, and you have to wait a long time. So if you can kind of keep the air going in there, just so you can I can go 2 blocks and I got to pull over again. I mean, it's everything. Just inch your way along. It's huge.
Yeah. When it comes to actually driving in winter weather, slow down. This is the time of year where you kind of want to increase the following distance.
Yep.
With the cars in front of you, just because if you do have slick conditions or snow on the roads, it's going to take longer to stop if you have to, slam on the brakes for whatever reason. Like if you have to come to an abrupt stop, your tendency to slide in the wintertime with winter weather going on is way higher than if the roads are dry.
And all-season tires don't necessarily mean snow tires.
Right.
All-season tires, they're okay. They're not great for snow. They're okay. They're made of a rubber that is good for all seasons. So in the wintertime, that rubber below 45 gets harder.
Right.
Harder rubber has less grip.
Less
you have
grip.
a little bit less friction on the road surface compared to a dedicated snow tire that's a softer blended tire.
Right.
in the summertime, you'll eat through a whole set of snow tires, so you don't want to drive those in the summer. But in the wintertime, they harden up a little bit, but they're still nice and soft, and they grip the roads a lot better. So just be extra careful. I don't run snows on my car. It's just not worth it here in Hampton Roads. It's just silly because we don't get enough snow. But in northern climates, when I used to live in Minnesota, yeah, I ran dedicated snows every winter, swapped them out.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more expensive, but you get phenomenal, this graphic, you get phenomenal traction. And I consider it like an insurance policy. You pay for your car insurance, but you really never want to make a claim because the old saying is your rates are going to go up. And I've never had to do that, thankfully. Hopefully I don't ever have to, but the rates go up. Well, if you get the snow tires, maybe you can prevent that rear end on someone in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Or sliding into a mailbox. Something simple. We're not talking about the crazy stuff. We're not talking about sliding off bridges.
I do want to mention this, though, because it is kind of important to, I guess, talk about in the winter.
This is more of a concern here.
Oh yeah, we have
than a lot of other things.
We have a ton of bridges.
Yes, we do.
Across their area. So I guess should we take a break first and then maybe come back and open up with this?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's take a quick break. All right, we'll be right back. Stand by, everybody. We're gonna get into why bridges freeze first in these cold winter temps. So stand by. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Forecast. We're going to get into why bridges freeze first.
Yes, this is important because we have a lot of bridges here in Hampton Roads. They can be small bridges that go over a swampy area. They can be huge bridges that are an issue too. Now, the freeway ones, they tend to get treated a little bit more, but there's even those ones that go over the freeways, those overpasses there. So the stream could be another roadway, or it may not be, but this is what we need to remember. The surface, the pavement will stay warmer on land than over the bridge because that cold air goes underneath the bridge, and it cools down that pavement basically like that within a couple of hours.
It's surrounded by that colder air,
sub-freezing temperature,
the sub-freezing temps, whereas the ground can kind of, underneath the roads that are, not aloft. Let me re-say that. The roads that are on the ground can hold on to a little bit more heat.
Yes.
And that keeps the actual roadway itself a little bit warmer. So you don't have that freeze as fast. Now, the road still can freeze over, given enough time.
Yep.
But the bridges, it's always going to happen first because you're surrounded by temperatures that are below 32 degrees. So in this case here, what could happen sometimes is, you're driving along up those bridges, you're all good, and then all of a sudden you hit that section of road that you have air underneath, and you'll start to, notice that drift.
Yes.
And it's really scary because, and this was kind of more an example, not even on a bridge for me personally. When I was younger and just got my license, me and my buddies were going skiing. We didn't notice it at the time. You don't notice how, when you're in danger sometimes when it comes to sliding over ice
it happens instantly.
Slick surfaces.
Yes.
All I remember was that we were driving. We were going on it was a curve in the roadway, but it was like hardly anything. So like I didn't really notice it at first. I started turning, and you know how there's like the guardrail that follows the road. So the road, obviously, again, it's not a sharp turn, but it was a gradual turn. I noticed that as I was turning the wheel, it took a couple seconds. I was like, I'm not turning.
Wow.
I pumped the brakes a little bit.
You're floating.
It felt like I was floating.
Wow.
And
That's
I had
intense.
this like look.
That's scary.
I had this look on me, and I like clutched the wheel.
Yeah.
My friend looking beside me was like, "Did we just slide?"
Yeah.
And I had a full car packed with all my friends going skiing.
Yeah.
My friends in the back had no idea.
Yeah.
It was just my friend in the passenger seat. He was like, "Did we just slide?" I was like, "Yes." He was like, "That's gnarly." I was like,
Yeah.
"That was very scary."
Yeah.
My friends in the back had no idea.
They're laughing, having a good time,
but I
sharing
could
stories.
I could feel it. And so
Yeah.
that's sometimes what can happen on these bridges. You go from, you have all the control in the world to quickly you go over this little bridge. It doesn't have to be a large bridge either. And before you know it, you're sliding on your wheels.
Were you going like interstate speeds, or were you going on a side road?
It was
or, like, county road?
it was the Garden State Parkway in New Jersey.
Okay.
So it was a
That's fast speed.
fast speeds.
Okay. Yeah.
Given
Never been
it
up
was, given it was, I knew prior that it was okay. I'm going to take it a little bit easy because it was a couple days after a winter storm, where we did get a little bit of snow, and there was just kind of patches of ice here and there.
there. Yeah.
So it wasn't like the whole road. So like it would be like, okay, I'm locked in driving this 5 minutes, the next 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm good, just normal driving. But before you know it, you hit another patch of ice, and you could lose traction.
Yeah.
It happens so quick.
Yeah, you totally can. It's one good thing too for those that have not driven in snowy events in your car. You'll feel, and you let's say you apply the brake and you don't get the brakes, you'll get that vibration underneath the pedal. That's the analog brakes. That's the ABS system doing its thing.
Or you'll get the light that starts flashing on your car saying, "Hey, you have no traction." That's
Yep.
what happened in my it was my older car, but started getting a flashing light, and I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, okay, that was scary.
Yep.
Like it was one of the scariest driving experiences I've ever had. And again, my friends in the back had no clue what happened. I had to tell them after the fact, and they're like, they thought I was kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Joking around.
We were
Yeah.
no. I was like, we were sliding.
Yeah, we were in a slide.
It was very scary.
It's I've been one of those. I think my uncle told me this when you get a new car and there's that first snow event, go into like an empty parking lot, like at the mall or something. Just not doing donuts.
But just
to get
understanding.
The feel.
It's very like
hit the brakes, like just slam on the brakes in the open parking lot and just see
what happens.
Oh, and then like okay, then try that, like turn it really fast.
Make sure it's an open parking lot.
Yeah, don't have light poles.
But it's
you'll slide into one of those.
But it is kind of important to at least understand the feeling.
Yeah.
Of that slide, like that way, when it happens on the roadway, you kind of understand the feeling and you can identify it quickly.
Yep, you get the confidence with the vehicle.
Exactly.
You gotta have that. If you have the confidence, then you're going to make the right decision in those moments. We
don't mean to scare anybody, but it is just really important to know, because in this time of year, I mean, it can really mess up your plans at the very least if that happens and you get in an accident.
Well, that's the thing, too. I mean, if you are a little nervous about driving in snow and ice, totally get it. Totally understand. Whenever we get those events, we always keep an eye on what VDOT is saying or NCDOT is saying. So we'll let you know when the road conditions do improve.
Of course.
Because we have access to those maps. You do, too, as well. VA 511 is the place to go for Virginia. I believe it's NC 511 for North Carolina. It's pretty much the state code 511.
Yeah, like the state abbreviation. So
yes.
Like Virginia, it's VA.
Yeah.
North
MN
Carolina,
51,
NC, yep.
Iowa, IA 51. It's kind of, I think every state is participating in that now. It's great.
Oh, it's
great way
great
to get the info.
It's got a lot of information on it. Definitely recommend it, especially before winter weather comes our way.
Yep.
That's for sure. Let's move into cold water facts, because we do live in an area that is surrounded pretty much by water.
Yes.
A lot of surfers out there. A lot of people who just like water sports or just going out and boating. Cold water, if you don't have the correct gear, I was trying to get my thoughts there.
Yeah.
If you don't have the correct gear, just do a polar plunge event. Like, in a minute, you're like, oh my,
yeah.
Sometimes instantly, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can be basically in shock.
In just a minute. Sometimes.
I didn't realize the body heat loss is 4 times greater than cold air.
Yeah. Isn't that something? In cold water, it's how because it has to do something with just obviously water being wet.
The heat transfer.
The
equation of that, or whatever that is.
It's that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That I definitely didn't know. I think it's kind of, this sounds kind of like similar to like a big time wind chill day. Like when it's windy, it's like you feel colder than if there's no wind. In water, it's like
it cools your core. That's the concern.
It's that initial shock.
Yep.
It's that initial shock. Life jackets this time of year.
If you are going to be doing watercraft,
boating,
yes.
you need to double check before you head out on the water. Very important stuff here. Let's get into really quickly, before we take another quick break, we're going to switch gears here and go to our NASA image. Jeff
okay. Oh, we're going to do this right now.
Yes,
okay.
I'd like to do this.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I was wondering. Okay, Messier 35, the shoe buckle cluster. Now, we're actually looking at 2 different features here in this image. We're looking at the shoe buckle cluster, which is the cluster of the big stars on the left. And then we're looking at NGC 2158 to the upper right of that. That's the smaller grouping of the stars, not too far away. So you see the big grouping of stars where there's just a bunch of stars that are kind of loosely placed together.
Yeah.
And then you have the smaller one that looks like it's way more
And,
concentrated.
and it
That's
looks
one to the
more
upper
like
right.
a yellowy goldish color.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a color to it. Again, I captured that with this telescope right here with the Smart Telescope. So that was a capture I got last week. That's the astronomy image of the week. I just wanted to pull up some of the details of M35. So M35 has a distance from Earth, from us, about 2,800 light years away.
Whew, that's far.
It's a pretty far distance away. The magnitude is 5.3. It actually is visible to the naked eye under very dark skies, but
Okay.
we don't have dark enough skies
No.
here. Maybe on some spots of the Outer Banks in between the big cities like Rodanthe and Nags Head, smack dab in the middle on Pea Island, it's dark enough there. You can
Where-
probably see it on a moonless night.
You definitely know this. Where's the closest dark sky park? Because a lot of
Western Virginia, I don't know the name of the park, but there is one in Western Virginia.
not West Virginia, Western
Virginia. Yeah, it's kind of like Farmville-ish.
yeah,
that
yeah.
zone, somewhere around there.
they're really cool for those who are
Yeah.
really interested in looking up at the night sky. Those dark sky areas. Because who is it that designates an area? Is it just like the National Park Service?
There's an international organization that does that. That does the kind of the criteria.
Gotcha.
We could probably go through that, and I want to go through some other things, but we have to hit one more break
Hit
before
one
we
more
wrap
break.
up, and we're getting low on time. So let's do that, and we'll have some final details here in just a bit.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Forecast. We've got about 2.5 minutes left, so
Yeah.
let's get it going.
Let's finish this up. So it's a double cluster effect. So we saw that we have Messier 35, M35, and we also have NGC 2158 to the upper right. So it's a double cluster effect where M35 is 2,800 light years away, but the other one that looks a little bit more concentrated is 16,000 light years away from Earth. Much farther
Wow.
away. So when you look at this, you have
Is
to
that
look
why
at
it
it in the
looks
third
dimmer?
dimension.
Yeah, is that why it looks kind of dimmer too?
A little
Maybe?
bit. It's also older and it's just a little bit more compact.
Gotcha.
Dimmer, yes. If I had more light, more time with the telescope, it would brighten up.
Gotcha.
It would brighten up. So M35 is about 400 stars. The other one is a lot more stars inside it. It's just a lot more concentrated. So it's a lot more kind of intense of a cluster, but kind of fun. Wanted to show a star cluster here. There's a lot of star clusters in the night sky. We don't talk about them. We always just target towards the nebula or the planets. But the star clusters deserve a little attention too, and that's just one of many. You can see the Pleiades in the eastern sky. They're much higher up than Jupiter and Orion is. M35, by the way, is just above Betelgeuse and Orion, so that's kind of that rough location for that in the night sky. So that's rising. In the evening, Pleiades are high up. This is the evening kind of snapshot. This is not what it looks
Right.
like in the morning. So this
Right,
is
gotcha.
evening for
So after
night sky.
sunset,
Yeah.
not before sunrise.
Yeah, you'll find the moon generally in the southwest sky along with Saturn and Neptune. Neptune is a telescope-only type planet. So got to have a telescope for that. Uranus is also next to the Pleiades. That's telescope-only as well.
Before we wrap up, we got 30 seconds. I want to hear what's your favorite Christmas memory of your favorite Christmas gift that you've ever had.
Ooh, I got a Sega Genesis, and that's how I started to love Sonic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a throwback for you, but
Nice.
it's a Sega Genesis, yes.
Mine was my first ever shortboard surfboard. So you go from longboard, you go
yeah.
from you learn on a foam board, go down to or you go to a longboard,
Yep,
go down to kind of a fun shape, and then a shortboard. My first shortboard, I was stoked.
that's awesome.
That's all we have for Beyond the Forecast, though.
Yeah, we're out of time.
We are out of time. We will see everybody tomorrow.